We're all owned by the syndicate, body and soul. Or should I just say body?
Hello, filthy movie lovers, something weirdos and anti-criterion bros, to the fourth episode of The Short Ends, our series of bite-sized bonus episodes where we present the odds, ends, and ephemera that didn't exactly fit into previous discussions. This week is something a little different. We are doing a mini-sode which is going to be talking about Reviver 2, the second release in the ongoing Secret Lost film series by Vinegar Syndrome, curated by head archivist Oscar Bacher, and with profits from each release going directly into funding the VS Film Archive. The entire premise of this line is the mystery box aspect, so we should probably say right up front, there will be spoilers. So if you want to go into Reviver 2 completely virginal, you'll want to skip the last portion of this episode. But first, let's cover a few other recent, more sexploitation-related news and updates. We've got another Secret Places, Secret Things update. What do we got here from Chris Poggiali?
Yes. Well, first of all, Dino's going to love that you used the word curated.
I know. I know.
Did you do that intentionally to give him to raise his hackles?
Yes.
Folks, we're trying to destroy the word curated. We're trying to replace it with programmed or whatever. It rolls off the tongue. Okay, so yeah, Chris sent this to me, and I thought it might have been in this book. So Brian Albright, who is great. I mean, he wrote a book called Wild Beyond Belief, Interviews with Exploitation Filmmakers of the 1960s and 1970s. It came out, almost 20 years ago. And I still don't have a copy. So bad on me. But that's also the book where he interviewed Jennifer Bishop, which was major. And for some reason, she wasn't interviewed for the Al Adamson set or the Grafé set by Severin and Arrow. She still has never done an interview other than that interview with Brian. But he did interview Gary Kent for that book. And so he sent me this screenshot of what Gary had to say about Secret Places, Secret Things. This is before he saw the movie. So he said, God, I would love to find a copy of that. I was working as a production manager for the Pussycat chain, but they weren't doing anything. Gary Graver got to be a pal, and we were writing a script called The Moonshiners for them. And I have found a Box Office Magazine article about that, where that movie never went into production, but they were trying to get the Pussycat to finance it. The next thing I knew, Vince Miranda called and said there was a guy named Mike McFarland that wanted to do a movie, and he was looking for a director. They told him I was a good production manager, so he wanted to hire me. I met Mike at a sub sandwich shop, and he sat down, and I thought, well, if I'm ever going to make the jump, do it now. I said, don't look any further for a director. It's me. I talked him into letting me direct, but he had no idea what he was doing. He wanted to make nudie cuties. I said, let's make an art film. It will be a nudie, but it will be art. Accurate.
Yeah.
I wrote the script with one of the partners from the Pussycat. Mike produced it. I co-directed it with this other fellow. At the time, I'd already worked with Laszlo Kovacs and Vilmos Sigmund. I thought you had to have a Hungarian cameraman or you were not a director. So I hired a guy named Louis Horvath. I think it was his first job in LA. I don't believe that's true. Part of the film had this great camera work from this Hungarian cameraman. The other director had his own cameraman, and I don't know what he did. I thought my part of it wasn't too bad. Of course, what did I know? I'd never seen it. Don't know what happened to it or where it went. Some more questions now. Because I thought Mike McFarland wrote the script to this, but now Gary's saying that he wrote the script with one of the partners from the Pussycat, which was, now I forget his name, but that's the partner for the Pussycat was the guy that Naola said directed it on her resume.
Yeah.
So I think that's the other director. I still think that's the other director. I just think it's interesting he didn't name the other fellow, but it sounds like there were two units shooting this. It sounds like he shot something and the other director shot other things. So now I'm going to watch this. I need to watch this again.
And see if you can notice.
Which I love. And see if I can notice something else. But also props to that editor, the woman editor, then to make it all flow. Because I don't notice any difference in style across those stories in that film. I don't notice any difference. And
Yeah.
so that's why when he maintains that he co-directed it with someone, I was kind of like, it doesn't seem like unless you guys were doing it together at the same time,
Yeah.
that I could see. But now he's saying that the director had his own cameraman that wasn't Louis Horvath. So now I'm just like, okay, well then who was the other cameraman on this? Because it
Yeah.
all flows very seamlessly to me. And you know what? Again, I'm gonna have to email Naola. I'm gonna have to, stop being chicken shit and email Naola because I think she and your other favorite are the only two surviving people that we can talk to about this
Right. The only
potentially.
thing I could think of is that maybe they had the two units, one did exteriors, one did interiors. Maybe they broke it up that way. I don't
Possibly.
know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm also, and this is when I wish that after it had become available and he had seen it and I'd seen it, I wish that I'd pressured him more to answer more questions about this. But at that time, he was not doing great health wise. So I
Yeah.
really didn't want to press him. It doesn't seem like anybody else did after that film came out, unless I could talk to Lars from Austin Film Society, who did mention that he got Gary the copy of that movie.
Right.
So I might reach out to Lars. And I love that we're still going back to get more info about this movie, but like it's an enduring mystery.
Yeah.
And I think it's still one of the best movies that we've done. So
Yep.
the more info we can get, the better. I wish this is a situation where I wish that there were
Yeah.
all the answers available, but at least it keeps us on our toes looking for stuff. So thank you,
Yeah.
Chris, for sending this. And I am going to order that book because I need that Jennifer Bishop interview.
Yeah. What year was that book?
2008, almost 20 years
2008.
ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it was a McFarland published. I think it came out through McFarland,
Okay.
that do all the Tom Weaver books. So
Yep.
yeah,
Well, it is good that, Gary did get to see the film, after
finally,
that interview for that book.
yeah. hmm I just have too many questions now.
We keep talking about this film, and part of me is like, wow, this might be a good reviver. But at the same time, it's like, well, maybe
It
we're
would be.
talking about it too much, you know?
No, Oscar and I have discussed this.
Okay.
He knows how important it would be to put this out. It's not necessarily about the fact that it's never been available. I mean, if they can find even if they find a print, that would potentially be longer than what we have because it was
Mhm.
cut for that video. It's missing both the beginning and end credits. So yeah,
Sure.
there's definitely stuff missing. And
All
I
right.
and I made that argument to him. So
All right.
I advocated for it.
Yep. You have been doing some corrections on Compass Rose.
Yes, I posted that on Letterboxd and haven't got any blowback, but listen, when I have to correct my daddy, I have to do it. I'm sorry,
Stephen
Stephen
Thrower.
Thrower. So that correction happened, but then I forgot to, because we moved over to Canada to discuss, with Eric, which was so educational and great. I wanted to read out the email that exchange that I had, or at least the initial message I got from Anthony Muschini, who was the male lead of Compass Rose.
And when was
And
this?
so this was 2017.
Okay.
So this was when Quad Cinema was doing a screening of Vapors and Seeds, and Joe Rubin asked me to try to get as many people as possible for every screening. So I said, okay, well, there's got to be New Yorkers who were still around who were part of these two movies. So I called Gerald Jacuzzo, and he came down from upstate for Vapors. And then we got John Borski, who co-wrote Seeds, and then his wife, Patty Dillon, or his ex-wife, Patty Dillon, who was the maid in the film. But I wanted to go a little bigger. So I found Anthony
Of
Muschini,
course you did.
who is still living in New York. I was like, I want to get somebody that isn't in the book. Or, I
Yeah.
wanted to get somebody who even Jimmy hadn't talked to, because I don't think Jimmy had even talked to him. So I emailed him out of the blue, and I wasn't sure I found the right Anthony Muschini. So I was like, okay, I'm trying to find the Anthony Muschini that worked with an Andy Milligan in the 1960s because we're doing a screening of his movie. So I found him, and he wrote back really quickly, actually. He wrote
Okay.
back like 24 hours later. So his email, he wrote back and said, yeah, I'm still kicking around. Those were 3 or 4 great years, and I remember Andy. He was a little gruff, but an interesting human. His directing was off the cuff, interesting, and jovial. He'd hoist that camera onto his shoulders, and you knew it was action time. He seemed to have a short fuse, but somehow he never got angry. He seemed to want to be surprised by what you came up with. He was a good guy, even though he seemed dangerous at times. It might make for an interesting evening just kicking around those years way, way back. Let me know where and when this will all happen. And he came with his wife. He came with his wife, sat in the audience after the experience of sitting with his wife watching Seeds. He did not join the Q&A, which I thought was fine. He seemed a little shell shocked because I don't think he ever saw the film. Right. There wasn't a premiere of this, so I don't think he ever saw it. And I don't think he even think he knew it was around. So he talked to John, I remember, and I think he talked to Jerry too. And that was kind of the end of it. And I gave his contact information to Vinegar Syndrome because they were going to I think they were reissuing Seeds because that was the debut of the restoration that Alex did. And they were going to try to get him for that release. And I'm not sure if they did, or either they contacted him and he said no, or they didn't contact him. But I sent his email address to Alex because I was like, Alex, if we're going to figure out any of these mysteries of Compass Rose, specifically those two actresses, the one who plays Asa, the blonde, who's supposed to be like Hope Stansbury, and the one who plays Miss, not Miss Georgia, whatever, the lady who's not Ann Linden. Yeah. I was like, if anything, you can send him some screenshots and see what he says. He was very nice, very cordial. There was no hesitation on his part, as you can hear from that email. And then he thanked me after for inviting him and everything. And the conversation just kind of ended there because I was like, okay, you guys figure out this interview and do the interview. And it never happened. So, but he's still around, still in New York.
Yeah, that'd be the way to go, is just email him some screenshots of the actresses and be like, hey, we're just doing some research into this film. Do you remember any names associated with these people? Yeah.
Right, because Robert Patrick did not remember the blonde, because he saw Compass Rose and identified a lot of people on his WordPress years ago. He could not identify her. He couldn't identify either of them. He did identify Moschini himself, Matt Baylor, and some other people, but he didn't know who either of those women were. So, but to be fair, that was when that was a terrible transfer. So, with the clarity that we have now.
Yeah, the
it's
visuals.
Not it's much clearer. Did you ever see the original transfer? Listen, that was rough. That was really rough. So I never thought we'd see anything with any kind of clarity like we do on that box set. It doesn't make the movie good. It's still very difficult to get through, but I gave it like a historic interest. I think if you view it as like a companion to Seeds because it has some of the same cast, and then it's interesting, but it's also kind of like this is why his best movies are the movies that he wrote. Yeah. So not Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me.
Yeah, that one's just Compass is just it's trying to be so cute.
Compass Rose.
It's trying to be cute and satirical a bit, and
it's too inside baseball.
Yeah,
it's too inside baseball, and it's just like now that we're 60 years on from all the people that are referenced in that, and a lot of them it's tough to even get all those references. So.
Yeah. We've got. You wanted to mention something about our Bunny Yeager release coming up.
I did. I felt bad because I was listening back and I was like, we were talking about how much fun it was to do the extras for the Bunny Yeager release, and then I remembered, oh right, we got Chris Velasco from Two and the Pinku on that release too. So I think I can disclose this now. Vinegar Syndrome so they put out Body of Evidence, and I was reached out to do something for that release, and I said no. But I thought, who would be great for this? Chris. Because I went to his letterbox and I saw he gave it 5 stars, and I was like, perfect. Sex movie. He loves the movie. He can write something about this. So I suggested Chris, and then it didn't happen because they randomly found somebody else, and I was bummed. So I'm glad that you came up with the idea. Well, this makes sense because Chris is a photographer. So this makes total sense. It's still adjacent to the sex films that he discusses and that the genre that he discusses, but also he is an expert in cameras.
Yeah.
And it was so cute because he messaged us little notes and stuff well, I think to both of us about like, oh, I just identified this camera, and oh, I'm really interested in this, and like noting her style, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh God, this is going to be such a good
Good.
essay. So I got really excited. So yeah, I wanted to shout him out just because I felt
Yeah.
bad that we didn't do that, because it really kind of was, that really happened beautifully.
Yeah.
And Brett Wood, the producer of that set, was really receptive to it, and he was really excited about this adding something else to the package that wasn't just our commentaries. So
Yep. Yep. Chris is the kind of guy that can, see a camera and instantly know what it is, which I think is a great
yeah,
research talent to have. Yeah. So
he just
I'm
did that with the Sexploiters.
yeah, I
He
know.
noted all these cameras, and I was like, damn, why didn't we think of Chris for Sexploiters? I didn't think of the camera angle for that either. But he gave it the same rating as I did, and I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I knew he would like it because of all the
Yeah,
camera
it's good.
action.
Exactly. It's
And
a
just all
solid
the
movie.
lighting in it, like Gigi's ice cream scene is just
Oh
lit
my
so
God.
well, and a
Yeah.
photographer will see that and
Hmm.
understand how much work goes
Yeah.
into
He did
lighting a
note
scene
that
like that.
too as well. And I was like, that's the best, maybe the best photograph scene in the movie.
Yeah.
It's over too quickly.
Yep. So that's coming out. Oh crap! When is that coming out? Next month? I don't remember.
May, at the end of May. And I'm hoping we get our Sexploiters contributors copies soon. I know we requested them.
Yeah.
So it's weird to see all these reviews pop up of stuff that we don't have yet. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed, please. Let's get those copies.
I don't know how different companies work. For AGFA, they sent us two each,
Mhm.
so I was able to give
Yes.
away one. So if Kino sends multiple, I will do another giveaway, which should be fun.
Hmm.
We've got our friend Mark Murray has announced Endless
Hmm.
Ecstasy Volume 1 from Ultra Flesh
Yes.
Archives.
Which the crazy thing, the thing that was so crazy to me was he announced this literally 10 minutes after I gave him that title.
Oh, really?
He messaged me and he was like, "So I'm putting together this loops compilation series, but I can't think of like a good name for it." And I said, "Well, the idea of a loop is that it's on a loop, so endless." And I was like, "Well, endless ecstasy with three X's, that makes sense, and that's marketable." She's like, "Oh, I really like that. I'll go with it." And then all of a sudden,
You just
10 minutes
slapped
later,
that?
this photoshopped cover. I was like, "Oh, he went right into the endless ecstasy." So I'm excited. And also, he put Dawn Knudsen on the cover. Love Dawn Knudsen. She's a big breast fetish model of from that period. So
Hmm.
she kind of looks like Sue Hawk from Survivor with a mullet.
Okay.
So not the most attractive woman, but definitely very memorable in these films. So
Leslie Winston, Jamie Gillis, Gloria Leonard, Constance Money,
yes,
Long
Ray
Dong
Leonard.
Silver.
Gross. I'm not happy about that Long Dong Silver, but whatever. I'm sure it's the Seika one, probably. It's probably the Seika loop. Well, I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe not. If he doesn't mention her, then it probably isn't. But
Yeah, because that's a big
um
name. You'd want to mention Sega.
that's true. And he is already planning his next release after that, which is probably the Serena release, because he posted pictures of her. They spent the 2 days together doing commentaries and things like that. And I think it might be even a 2 volume set. So
Yeah.
um so immediately I once I saw that, I was like, oh, well, Serena's done softcore, so we should have Mark on to promote this and discuss a Serena film. And then that way, I mean, because Mark was just on something promoting. I don't remember what it was now. But I was like, he wanted to come on to promote the Leslie Winston one. I was like, it's a little tough because it's not, she never did softcore. We're trying to
Right.
stay softcore, as much as we can. But Serena, I mean, there are definitely options there.
She didn't do a whole lot of softcore though, from what
She
I
did
gather.
enough. I mean, she did Massage Parlor Wife, the two Phantasm movies, Honky
Yeah.
Tonk Nights, which is also with Georgina Spelvin and Carol Doda. So, well, she did Pleasure Palace, which came out in a softcore version. Like she's done other softcore. She did Night of the Juggler. She's in Night of the Juggler. We can talk about Night of the
That
Juggler.
doesn't count.
Does not count. She's in Hardcore, the Paul Schrader movie.
That
So she
doesn't
is
count.
she has a good career. Was she in 10? I don't believe she was in 10. She would not have been on the set with Ned Haven, for
But
sure.
yeah, it's funny.
But we have options.
Yeah, I just watched Massage Parlor Wife And
Good.
I loved it. And I was like, we
Yeah.
got to get Mark on to talk about this because he's doing a Serena series. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's perfect. So we'll talk to you,
Yeah.
Mark.
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad you like that. I like that movie quite a bit. I do like that
Yes.
movie quite a bit. And that's one of his late Novak's late periods sexploitations because by that time he was not really doing sex anymore. He was trying to go into horror and action. He
Yeah.
didn't want to do hardcore. So he wasn't, there's not a lot of options for softcore that he could find. So he kept reissuing stuff like Booby Trap and things like that with hardcore inserts eventually. But
Ugh.
yeah.
Watching Booby Trap with hardcore, I don't know if that's going to
It's
make it
bad
any
enough.
better. Yeah.
No, it's bad enough. It's not good. What also then he did Behind Locked Doors with hardcore inserts as what is it? And then came Ecstasy, I think was the title on that. And that's never surfaced on
Mm,
video. Just like Love Explosions is the hardcore booby trap. That's never been on video either.
yeah.
So if someone's gonna put out the Novaks, I want to see the hardcore versions if he still has them. I think he must have them in the vaults. I just think that maybe something weird might have been hesitant to do something with those.
Right. Well, speaking of Massage Parlor Wife, me watching
Mhm.
that, you've got a little what are we watching here? So I guess we can talk about a few things here before we get into Reviver. Yeah, so I did watch Massage Parlor Wife, loved it. Serena's just on fire
Yeah,
throughout
she's
that
great.
entire movie.
Hmm. Yeah.
We'll talk about that probably further down the line. So,
Hmm.
what else did I watch? I got that Jack Weiss big sleazy double feature from Severin,
Hmm.
which I don't know. Did that go under the radar? I don't know. It was in
It
2022, I
definitely,
think.
it definitely did. I keep
Yeah.
forgetting they have it, and it's very rarely on sale for a price that I think is fair. To be honest,
Yeah.
I still need it. But you surprised me by revealing that there's an interview on there that is not listed
Right.
anywhere, and I'm just kind of like, that would have sold me on this. What do you mean?
Yeah, they
It's
have an
crazy.
interview with Maureen Ridley. She
Hmm.
plays I forget, Damballa. And she also
Right.
has a small part in Death Brings Roses. She's like
Oh,
kind of
okay.
yeah, she's a hooker in the bed, whatever.
Interesting. She's very vivid implants. Very vivid
Yes.
implants.
I compared her to like kind of like a Pat Barrington type of character in the
Actually,
movie. Yeah.
yes. Yes,
She
I agree with that.
dances and the
Can't
implants
act,
and
but
yeah.
she's fascinating. Fascinating
Yeah.
woman. Yeah.
So David Gregory actually got an interview with her very last minute and they put that on the disc. And yeah, like I said, I think it's worth the
Love that.
price if you can get it at a fair price because you just don't get people like that on camera that are, she was
No.
very open about the whole thing, just went through her whole life story. Yeah, it's great.
Hmm.
It's really great.
Hmm. I
So
like
yeah.
that Crypt of Dark Secrets. I think that's
Yep.
I enjoy that one. I
Yeah,
think
it's
it's
fun. Most
it's a
people like that one.
regional horror sex hybrid. Yeah,
Yep.
I quite enjoy it.
Shot in New Orleans. Yeah, it's a good,
Hmm. Really good location footage.
Halloween season type of movie to put on. Yeah.
That's good. Better than Naked Witch, which is on the same DVD from
Oh,
something weird. The Buchanan one, which is just it's fine.
and what else? I rewatched Daughters of Darkness after our episode in Canada to see Danielle again, which was
Hmm.
nice.
And what did you think of her in that?
I like her. Yeah, I mean, she's
Hmm.
playing yeah, I mean, I'm trying to connect her back to like maybe like the Mina character in the original Dracula, sort of. I can kind of try to see where she's
Oh yeah,
trying to go with the character. I don't
right.
know. But no, I liked
Yeah,
it. But I don't have the like release. I don't have any of the new. They have so many releases of this movie. But
yeah. I need the 4K bad.
so I don't know. I haven't heard that full story about her experience on the set or heard anybody talk about it.
Yeah, he was
So,
very. The director was apparently very nasty to her.
mhm.
I
But
don't. I need to revisit those extras because, well, I need the 4K because the extras are ported over from their previous DVD, which I don't have anymore. But I just remember him being very brutal to her, and I get. I'm trying to remember if she was imposed on him. I'm trying to remember. I don't. I feel like maybe he didn't want her, but it
okay,
was somebody that the producers wanted, and so I mean, she's with John Carlin, who's great. He was also an American TV star at that point, and then Delphine Zeyrig, who's incredible.
who's yeah.
Peerless. Yeah.
What's funny is, Andrea Rao's character, it goes through
Mm,
more,
hmm.
I'd say hardship, at least on screen, than
Yeah.
Danielle's character.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
like her in that too, actually. I like her in that. Considering that I think she learned her lines phonetically. I don't think she didn't know English when they made that, I believe.
Yeah. But what's funny is I didn't realize Danielle's character is named Valerie in that movie.
Oh, yes, it is. That's right.
So I messaged Eric. I'm like, did you remember this? He's like, oh, I totally forgot that. I was like, do you think that was intentional? He's like, oh yeah, they knew what they were doing.
It probably was at that point. Hey, I need to. I need to order that 4K, but maybe today. I love that movie so much. That was one that I bought blind when it was on Anchor Bay VHS. And that was before DVD. So, and it was a VHS. The Anchor Bay used to have the VHS where it would have like a little thing that would open and it would give you little liner notes on the inside of this little flap on the VHS. And I watched that and it totally blew me away. And I've had every version on. I've had a DVD, I've had the Blu-ray, and I got rid of the Blu-ray because I was going to get the 4K, and I still haven't got it yet. So yeah, that's an all-timer for me. I love everything about that movie.
It's just it's classic Euro cult, like classy Euro cult is what I would say.
Very classy. You don't get Delphine Zeyrig in that and make it trashy. She wouldn't have signed on to that, I don't think, if it went down any kind of road that she didn't like. So
exactly.
Yeah.
I also, on that tip, I also went down the Rabid hole again. I rewatched Cronenberg's Rabid because I saw this on IMDb. They had said that there was a scene from Valerie in Rabid. So I'm like, where is this scene? So I rewatched, and apparently they said, the movie that Rose Marilyn Chambers goes to see at the Eve Theater is Valerie. So I rewatched Rabid. You never actually see the screen, but you can hear dialogue in the background, and the dialogue it's not Valerie, it's from the follow-up. It's from the movie, your favorite movie,
Here and Now, The Initiation.
Yes.
God, piece of shit. Yeah. God, it's so bad.
It's very obvious if you've seen the Initiation. The dialogue is from that.
Interesting. I'm glad you did that reconnaissance because I wondered about that because I knew you'd mentioned that and I was like, I totally don't remember. I would think I remembered Daniel Ouimet showing up in that, but that totally makes sense then. It was like it was a poster on the exterior, but then the movie didn't match.
No.
That's so you know what that's like? Taxi drivers like that. They have the poster for Sometimes Sweet Susan, but then they're watching a medical white coater movie, which is not Sometimes Sweet Susan and Taxi Driver.
I'm looking at the poster right now. Yeah, the movie that she goes to see is called Models for Pleasure, and it kind of
looks a terrible retitle for Valerie.
If it was
I hate
Valerie,
that,
but it's actually the Initiation.
Oh, that makes sense.
It fits a little bit closer to the Initiation, right?
Sort of.
Because there is some modeling. I mean, there's modeling happening in Valerie as well. So whatever.
Yeah, sort of. Yes, but it's modeling for it's modeling for the art, right? For the painting. Right.
I
love that movie so much.
Yeah. Chatterbox. What do you think about Chatterbox?
You know what? You're never going to get a fair and balanced review of me from Chatterbox because one, Candace Ryelson.
Yes.
Love her to the moon and back. I cried when I found out she died. And Tom DeSimone, who I am friends with. And was very surprised when I asked him questions about Candace Ryelson. He's like, well, why are you interested in her? And I was like, well, she's great. She has good comic timing. She's gorgeous. He's like, yeah, she was fine. Yeah, she was good. And I was just like, Tom, we're both gay. We should have this star worship thing. And he was like, yeah, I didn't worship her star.
Okay.
I was like, thanks, Tom. So making me feel like a weirdo. But I enjoy it. I think Rip Taylor's fun in it. It's funnier than Pussy Talk, which is the movie that it's remaking, which is the French.
Is it actually remaking or is it just coincidental concept?
Actually, it's not really a remake. It's the same concept because the French film, she's married and it's about her being sexually unsatisfied. And it's very different from this woman who's like an up and coming, an aspiring actress who's only gets a career because of her talking.
Right.
But I enjoy it quite a bit. And
I enjoyed it.
I'd love a nice restoration of that, which I never see happening.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Why don't you see that happening?
I don't know. It's with MGM, I believe, because it was AIP. And it was Bruce Cohen Curtis, who legendary gay producer who was involved with some other stuff. I think, he didn't do Sextet. He did some other stuff that is very, very queer and camp.
Yeah.
And actually a friend of mine's brother was like kind of Bruce Cohen Curtis got handsy with him at a screening, and he was like, oh. He got Me Too'd by Bruce Cohen Curtis.
Oh my
Ugh,
gosh.
not great. But I do enjoy that movie. I don't like the Wang Dang Doodle song, but I'm like, oh, it's a musical now? Great.
It's a nudie musical now.
It is. I mean, I enjoy it. I will always, yeah, like I said, don't listen to my opinion on it because I'm fully biased. I will sit through that movie over and over because it's Candace.
Yeah.
And I worship that woman so much. So
yeah, that's kind of what I alluded to in my little quickie review, which is, it's one joke, whatever,
yes, basically.
It's one joke, but it's Candace and she's great. So it's.
But you know what's funny? Alice Goodbody is the same thing where it's one joke and it's an actress that I love, and I still don't like that movie though. Something about Chatterbox, I don't know what it is. I love Sharon Kelly. I think she's great in Alice Goodbody, but I hate that movie.
I think maybe it's Tom's
I don't know.
gay sensibility coming through.
I think so. Rip Taylor helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some other good people in there.
I like Alice Goodbody, for the record.
No, I love her in it. I'm glad that she got a nice lead role. Got to do some good comic business.
Really funny. Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
What do you got?
Well, you're not mentioning the other movie that you saw. You went to the movies.
That's not sexploitation adjacent.
The biggest movie in America, probably. Which you gave a decent review, which I'm fine. There's a lot of discourse going on about the Super Mario Brothers movie, and I'm just kind of like,
what? There's discourse? I'm not even.
Yes, there is. There's people that are saying like this is stupid and dumb, and there are a lot of parents who are like, well, I don't care, my kid liked it, and. I'm not gonna argue with parents about a children's movie. I think that's stupid. So there are people arguing about the quality of children's movies. I'm like, listen, this is just kind of the way it is. If you feel a certain way about it, then don't let your kids watch those movies. But that's on you. And if you don't have kids, then what are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah. So
I'm not wading into any discourse about a children's movie. Okay.
No, I'm not either. Unless it's no, I can't think of any example where I would do that unless I'm advocating for a film and I want like my niece and nephew to watch it. Like all the Miyazakis, they're really into Miyazaki, and that's my doing. I will take credit for that because I wanted them to start with good shit. I didn't want them to start with terrible stuff. Yeah. What have I been watching? So I'm trying to play catch up on a lot of stuff. So I watched I'm 2 films into the Nikatsu Sweden Porno collection, and I'm not taken with these yet, but I haven't gotten to the 2 that I know I'm going to like, which are the last 2, which are the ones that have my queens, Solveig Anderson and Inger Sund. I love both of them. I actually watched so Ricard at Club Super 8 did visual essays on both of them, and I cried at both of them. And then I watched the Inger Sund one. I was like devastated because, spoiler alert, things did not end well for her. And I watched it again because I wanted to keep crying to get it out of my system. But I haven't watched the movies that they're in yet, but I love both of them. They're both no longer with us. And what else did I watch? I finally finished the Nikatsu Roman Porno DVDs that I bought from the MVD sale. 2 of them I'm getting rid of. So they're not. I finally ran into my first pink films that I didn't like. It had to happen. So it was a women in prison movie. I'm gonna probably try selling them somewhere at some point. Okay. Yeah, I don't want them. One was like a Pearl Diver sex comedy, which was not funny, and I didn't really work for me. And the other was a women in prison sequel that I didn't care for either. But I did see my first Dirty Teacher movie. Or was it Dirty Teacher? No, Female Teacher. Female Teacher.
If you didn't want to go through the hassle of selling them, you can just throw them in that package to me.
Oh, that's true. I guess I could. I have other DVDs in there for you. That package is getting big. But
okay. Do you have a little corner? Do you have a little corner nook over there with all the stuff you're sending me?
No, it's on a pile on top of my bookshelf, so I don't. Okay. So it's out of the way. Yeah. Female Teacher, Dirty Afternoon. I loved. It was shockingly emotional. It was a melodrama about like sexual trauma and healing between this teacher and the daughter of a accused rapist. And I was really surprised at how good it was. I was just like, I cried at the end of it again. I cried a lot of shit. It's crazy to me that this is not even the first Japanese pink film that I've cried at. I've cried at Female Leopard, and there's a few other ones that are just like, they really hit you.
I think people still don't understand. Like, just get past the title, and these movies can be quite emotional, yeah,
Yes.
and layered. Like, you're looking at this, the poster and this for this movie.
Nothing like the poster.
Female Teacher, Dirty Afternoon. It's like you have to, you just have to get past that, or
you don't even see the you don't even see the teacher in the schoolroom. She's not teaching. She is not in the classroom or in the school ever, the entire movie. The whole thing is just the fact that she is a teacher, and it's something about her past as a teacher in another place that is coming back to haunt her. I loved it so much. I thought it was really terrific. I watched Debauchery, which I loved, which has the actress that's in Top Cut, she plays a hairstylist that has diarrhea in that movie in like a comedy role, and then in Debauchery she's playing like Catherine Deneuve in Belle de Jour. It's a very intense, dramatic role. Also, there's a sequence where a literal wolf spider is crawling on her, real wolf spider crawling on her, and she's fondling her breast. And I'm just like, Nakatsu really puts their actresses through it, but they rise above and are able to deliver so much.
Ryoko Watanabe, that's her.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, she's so good. Yes. And actually, Dirty Afternoon has Asako Ota, who I love, who was in Sex Hunter. And then she also was in Top Stripper.
Top Stripper, yeah.
She was the girl that seduced the delivery guy. Yeah, she's great in that. Really, and I meant Pink Cut, not Top Cut, Pink Cut.
Yeah.
Just related to Reviver, since we're going to eventually get into Reviver. Oh, I also watched Anita, the Christina Lindbergh movie, which Club Super 8 put out. There's a second version on there that's a French version that Alpha France released, which doesn't have hardcore in it, but it completely rearranges scenes and rearranges the narrative of the film and adds softcore footage to the actual footage from the actual shoot, and adds footage to all of the sex scenes. Oh. And it's 78 minutes, so it's 17 minutes shorter. But the stuff they cut out is like home life stuff. And I think there's another sequence that I didn't miss the footage they cut out. I'll put it that way. So in some ways, I preferred the 78-minute French version to the 95-minute Swedish version.
Interesting. Okay.
But it's still Christina Lindbergh. It's her best performance. She's so good in that. And that's at a time when she wasn't really getting asked to act. She was showing up, and she was there because she took her clothes off and looked great nude. And so for her to do this role where she plays this teenage nymphomaniac, she's so good. She's really terrific. And it's her best role other than Thriller. I think that those are her two best movies. But Anita, she gets to act with dialogue. Thriller is very different.
Right.
But yeah, Anita's great. Pick that up if you haven't already. I think you can buy it on Vinegar Syndrome's site, I believe, in Melusine.
I'm loving that the Club Super 8s are getting over on the Melusine and the Vinegar Syndrome site now. They've got like international releases. They're tailored for all markets.
Well, the Anita, the Swedish version, has additional extras on it. It has 2 additional visual essays, which I think are essential. So I would say if you're going to get Anita, order direct from Club Super 8, or if you can get it on Diabolique or some other site, I would definitely get the Swedish version of that release, not the Melusine version.
Oh, okay.
Because it has that extra stuff in it.
That's is it translated? Like the extras?
It is. Yeah, all the Club Super 8s, because I ordered everything directly from. I typically try to order directly from them. Just Mr. Moneybags here, but I like to support the companies directly if I can, and especially because I know that money is going directly to them rather than. As a partner label of Melusine, I think that there's additional stuff that might come out the back end if you buy from them. So I'd rather just buy it directly from Club Super 8. So I bought Anita directly from them, and all of their extras have English subtitles. Everything on the disc has English subtitles, which is great.
I just ordered their Come Blow the Horn.
I need to order that too. Yes. I think I'm going to order that. Well, something else I will say, tip for people, if you're anxious, the Melusines, those slipcovers sell out, which I'm fine with. I don't need the slipcover. Those are typically in stock if you buy directly from Club Super 8. So if you're desperate for that slipcover, Club Super 8 will have the slipcover. The Melusines sold out because there's a certain amount that they have and a certain amount Club Super 8 have. So I don't need the slipcovers, so I'm fine. But for those who care. I do need to get Come Blow the Horn and Fear Has a Thousand Eyes, because that's longer than the version that I have with fan subs. And that's Solveig Anderson, who, have you haven't seen any Solveig Anderson yet?
I don't know if I have. Not sure.
She you know who she's very much like? She's like a Swedish Soledad Miranda.
Okay.
She has a similar vibe to Soledad. Kind of sad eyes, very captivating.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how the best way I would describe her is a Swedish Soledad Miranda. I think she's absolutely fantastic. But the last thing I wanted to mention was, so I was influenced by an Instagram ad to buy a release by a company I'd never heard of called Petroglyph Media. And it's a new company. Just started. It's a double feature of 2 films by a Colombian director. It's $20 with a slip sleeve, and I ordered it and I got it like 3 days later. Super quick shipping. It's a limited edition of 1,000, and it's a double feature. The first one is a movie called Sinister Funeral, which is a 1978 kind of like a supernatural / murder mystery kind of thing, which I quite liked. But the second feature is a movie called The Golden Triangle, which is kind of like it's a mix of the supernatural with like Indiana Jones. So it's like this adventure with like this golden triangle. And I reviewed both on Letterboxd, and I'm hoping more people, I linked to the website in my Letterboxd reviews. I'm hoping more people buy these releases. If you're a Manda Macabre person and you like things, like Turkish cinema, Filipino cinema, any of the Indonesian stuff that they put out, then you would love these. They're very good. Especially the Golden Triangle is so like Turkish exploitation. There's like crazy fight scenes. There's killer plants. There's this little island monster that's played by a kid covered in moss. Like it's so much fun. They're very cheap and low budget, but they're so much fun. And I really loved both of them. And I'm really hoping that they'll put out more stuff like this. It's for $20, it's also a steal. The first film is scanned from the last remaining 35 millimeter print, and it looks good. The second one is a 1-inch tape master.
Okay.
Which that's all that exists of that. But I was really, I was floored by that release. It's already one of my favorites of the year. All it's missing is some historical and cultural context. There's no like liner notes,
no commentary,
no visual essay, no interviews, no nothing. So it really is like a labor of love by
Anthony.
This guy who came out of nowhere and was just like, I wanted to do this for like my kids because my kids are Colombian on my wife's side. Yeah. And he put out these 2 Colombian movies. I'm like, bring on more Colombian movies, bring on more South American movies like this, please. Because I was really impressed by this release.
Yeah, he was on Ryan's Disconnected show a while back, and he
really
talked. Yeah, you'll have to watch that. It's really interesting.
I need to go watch that. Yeah,
he talks about how expensive this is to get these restorations done, and shipping, prints and negatives around. Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart.
No, that's why I would never do it.
Or the light of wallet. Yeah.
I'm much more comfortable begging people to do what I want rather than actually doing what I want because they have the money and the access that I don't. So that's why I'm fine, being a pest to Oscar about Secret Places, Secret Things or anything else that they have. And I'm just like, please put this out. But I admire that he took the plunge and did it, and it came out a quality product. And I would never have heard about it if it wasn't for this targeted Instagram ad that like had this gorgeous artwork, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And then I clicked it. They did a really good trailer with footage from the movie, and I was like, "This is for $20. This is a blind buy. I have no problem buying this for $20." And I it's a steal at $20. I got to tell you, especially because we've talked about this. We've talked about putting out things price to own, very nicely priced, with you don't need necessarily extras. There's enough on the back of the box and the box copy that tells you what they are and why the director's important. It did leave me with more questions though, so now I'm like, I'd be happy if he just posted something on the YouTube, just kind of like saying, okay, so here's who this director was, just to give me a little more info. But I'm excited to see what else they come out with. It kind of reminds me of like Cellular Dreams, where they came out of nowhere. Like these little companies that do like 1 or 2 releases a year. And I'm just like, sometimes that's enough if you put everything you have into it.
And they're not a partner label with anybody, so they're kind of eking out their own living there. Yeah, it's not easy, but it can be fulfilling, and hopefully get a good audience. And you get that audience, they're going to buy everything that you put out. Once you show that you're consistently putting out interesting stuff that you're not going to find anywhere else, people will buy it. So
yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they come out with.
He should just do commentaries himself. I don't know if he's comfortable.
Well, that's what the Henkels do.
Celluloid
Dreams.
Yes,
just do your own commentaries. That's fine. We don't need to know every single thing about the production, because sometimes that's just not going to be available. So even just like a basic, or just even like a little visual essay, or even if you do like, I don't know, because of the way that the design of the menus or the program is, we just want to do like a selected scenes commentary or something. It's like, well, because one of them, the Sinister Funeral, is 104 minutes long, so it is long. And there's definitely some pacing problems, but there's so much good stuff in it that I was just like mesmerized the whole time. But that might be tough to do a commentary for 104 minutes if you don't know every single thing about the production. But then like the other one is 93 minutes, and that you don't feel that 93 minutes. That goes way quicker. But yeah, I had to rave about them just because I would love them to sell out. Of only 1,000, I'd love for them to sell out and do more.
Did you have anything else here? I think you got one last. Are you still working through the Black Emmanuel box?
I haven't made any progress. I'm still on Emmanuel in Bangkok.
Oh, okay.
That's like the third one on the set. I've only watched Black Emmanuel 1, Black Emmanuel 2, and I've gotten any further because I keep getting stuff that shows up.
Yeah. What do you think of Black Emmanuel 2? Quick. Are you a fan?
I don't hate it.
Okay.
I don't hate it. I think she's not the best leading lady. There's enough in that I like.
I need to rewatch it again to see how
I love the soundtrack, and actually, I will say, there's that song "Going to Hawaii." I fucking love, and that came out on vinyl. I've never been able to find a copy. So when they said they were going to have 2 CDs in that set, one was going to be the non-Nico Fidenko stuff, songs from the other movies in the set. I was like, oh great, maybe they'll get Going to Hawaii. No Going to Hawaii. So I'm just like, God damn it! The one probably the best thing about that movie, and it's not available. So
I was just kind of like, get a clean rip of it or what.
If you're dealing with the licensors, they should have the tapes, but that's what I'm thinking. Either they don't have the tapes, or the licensor doesn't have the rights anymore and they kind of went away. I don't know. But you think about it, Bald and Bimbo stuff is either not available or took forever to come out. Like Voluto Nero took forever to come out. Finally. And that is, there are parts included on that CD in that collection. But I have the vinyl of that anyway. So
Four Flies Records, they've been putting out some stuff, kind of Italian niche soundtrack stuff. So
for a while there, I was buying everything they put out because it was very limited. So I just wanted it, and I have some stuff of theirs that I don't even want anymore. That's worth a fortune, and I'm just kind of like, well, I guess I could go on Discogs. I don't know.
Yeah. They got.
I have that Laura soundtrack, which I'm kind of like, do I send this to Gentry? Because I don't. I like the soundtrack, but I don't know if I need that vinyl.
Well,
isn't it worth like $500 now?
To celebrate the release of the book when it comes out, you can send me that.
I think that's fair. That's fair. I will part with it because I wouldn't sell that. I would send it to you if I was going to get rid of it.
All right. Should we go to the Philippines?
We should.
Reviver 2. Yeah, we are. Let me just start with my initial thoughts here. Okay, this is Oscar's baby, right?
It
I think
is.
we can say that.
Yes.
Is how involved is Joe in these, do you think?
How involved is Joe with anything these days?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, Steven's running himself ragged at Melusine right now. We're basically by himself with Dino helping and a few other people. And I'm like, this is supposed to be Joe's baby. I don't know what Joe is doing except reviewing shit on Letterboxd, giving it bad reviews that make me want to rip him apart. We used to be able to have arguments about this shit. Now he doesn't text me back.
All right.
But
I'm
he's a
sorry I
monster.
brought him up.
No, I love Joe. I mean, Joe and I, we've been friends for a fucking long time, but
Well, what I want, so what I'm
he's
trying to
not that he's not that
okay.
involved. I
All
don't
right.
believe. You can look at the credits after every Reviver. I mean, he's on there for obvious reasons. I don't
Yes.
think he's as hands-on as Oscar is or
Okay.
anybody else, really. I mean, Dino was credited more on this release than Joe was
Okay.
on Reviver 2.
What I'm trying to get at is, yeah, this does seem like Oscar's baby, and I really love what he's doing with it, which is he's finding films that go well together. Obviously, these two have a very clear through line, but even the last Reviver 1, which was Carolinas themed.
Mm-hmm.
Everything around
Yep.
it was Carolinas. This
Yep.
one is Philippines themed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I guess you could call it horror themed as well, which is
Yes.
nice for all the horror fans out there. There are
Right.
plenty of them.
No sexploitation here with
Not
this one.
sexploitation yet. So I'm just,
No.
yeah, I love the theming around it, and I'm really excited to see where they go next.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah.
number 3 is. We know Chris Poggiali's involved with number 3, but that doesn't help
Yes.
me like try to figure out what it could be because Chris he's got hands in obviously martial arts, but I don't think it's going to be a martial arts
Well,
themed
no, it
release.
probably won't be because of some rights issues. But he says that it's a endangered film, and
Right.
there are dozens of those.
So
So
many,
that
yeah.
does not help at all. Yeah. So I would think it would be. I would hope there would be one that does not have found next to it on
Right.
that. Actually, you know what? One. You ever see you didn't see the Wednesday Children, have you?
Mm-mm. I have
This
not.
little low budget movie about like these killer children. It was very good. You had to order it directly from the director, and he sent it to you in like a little paper sleeve that he illustrated.
Okay.
Um, that one I would love to see if it was come out of Reviver. That one needs a wider audience, but I'd prefer that one says found on it. I'd like one that doesn't say found on it.
Mhm.
To be honest, but we'll see.
Yeah, this is a really interesting release because the first film, I'm calling it the first because it's like on the left side of the menu. Did you watch them in that order?
I did, and it's funny because when I posted that I had it, so here's my thing. So I got it before you. And I was very careful because I know you probably don't want to be spoiled either. So I posted that I had it and I turned my fucking phone off and I turned my laptop off. And so I turned my phone back on, messages from Dino, a text from Oscar. Like, like, hope you enjoy. But then Dino said, did you pick horror or terror? And then he got mad because I wasn't responding. I was like, I turned my phone off. I want to experience this without any
Yeah.
distractions. And I'm glad I did. But yeah, it makes sense. I just started with the left
Yeah,
and then it just kept going. If you watch it, it doesn't take you back to a
exactly.
menu. So I just kept
Exactly.
watching it. Yeah, it was just a program.
I told that to Dino as well, and he's like, "Well, you watched it in the wrong order." I think he was trying to be funny or something because
Incorrect.
the first one's not his favorite, but
The
he
first
likes the
one is
second
what
one
you
better.
should start with because the second
Exactly.
one is such a slam dunk that you want to start with the quote unquote weaker one. I still
Yeah.
liked it, but it did not wow me like the second one did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so play it, just hit play, and it'll play it in the order it's supposed to be played, right?
Correct.
It'll go through all the special features and everything, which again is a thing that I really enjoyed about how they're authoring this disc is,
Yes.
you just put it in and let it play, and you're gonna get.
Yes.
I didn't clock it what the length is if everything together, but it's probably about 2.5 hours, 3 hours. With the two films plus like three 15-minute special features.
I don't remember if there's a time on there. I'm thinking of I also watched this backyard bloodbath thing from AGFA, and that had the full thing on it, but
Yeah.
I don't remember now.
So these are two Filipino American. What would you say?
Filipino shot, American financed.
Yes, productions from. They're
Like
both from
a lot of Filipino stuff at that time. I mean, like
yeah.
yeah, a lot of the Filipino stuff that we saw here with American people in it were financed by American
So
company.
these are 4 Journey Productions releases. Well, the titles are, we have The Horror from Beyond is the first one, and that's the one with the water damage. So
Yes, which actually it worked for me when I watched it, because the idea of like this the plot had something to do with an alien invader coming
using
drawn
like
to Earth because of
sonic
radiation.
waves and
Yes, and so I was like, this works visually. This
it
works for
kind
me.
of does, yeah.
It didn't bother me, and it was only one reel. I think it was only reel, or was it reel 4 maybe?
It's like 3 or 4,
But
yeah.
everything else is fine. Yeah, I mean it's the original camera negative, so you're not going to get anything else.
Yeah. Well, like they said in the special features or in the text,
Mhm.
the tiny, tiny text that they put up on the screen before and after the movie is,
I do wish it was bigger.
yes,
Yeah,
there's our
as
one
big as
little
my
note
screen
for you,
is, I need
Oscar.
it bigger.
Yes,
Yes.
make the text a little bigger.
Yeah, we're old. I'm old.
But as they said in that, there was no prints made of this. That's all there is the OCM.
Right. Because it was never distributed. It was
Yeah.
never sold to anybody, never hit TV, never theatrically released, nothing. It was basically was a Monster or Camp Sunshine situation where
Oh,
these
I didn't know that was
negatives,
the
Monster
case.
Camp Sunshine never came out. Monster Camp Sunshine was a negative that something weird got from Movie Lab, never was distributed, never picked up. And also All American Honeymoon, another one, the Kamal Harulu movie. There are newspaper articles about that saying it's in production, never released.
Hmm.
So when it came out from the negative, from something weird, first time anybody had ever seen it. And
Hmm.
it's terrible. But it does have Ann Linden. So kind of worth seeing. But yeah,
Well,
these they had no footprint. There were newspaper articles about they were planned to be sold as part of a package deal, which never happened. That's part of the one of the big extra on here, which I liked, was we find out who got access to these, which is Marco Joachim, I believe
okay.
is his name. Yeah. So, and if you know These Fists Break Bricks, he was the teenage son of his father. Ben was, I forget what he did. He wasn't necessarily a film distributor,
I thought his
but he,
father
as
was
a
Larry.
something. Yes, Larry, not Ben. Yes,
Yeah.
Larry. So, he's interviewed in These Fists Break Bricks because as a teenager, he edited together the Bruce Lee Green Hornet movies that were then reissued in the 70s after Bruce Lee died.
Yeah.
So he has been around for that long in the film world. And this was another situation. This was another movie lab situation where they were holding auctions for materials.
Yeah. And his dad bought him at the auction. Yeah.
Yeah, he bought them as well as his own shit, I believe, because I think it was a situation where he had past due bills. And he even said, yeah, he just went to this auction and bought his shit back, and it was less than the bills that they were charging him. It's like, that's pretty smart, actually.
Yeah. He also got Red Roses and Beware Black Widow. Is that from this same Movie Lab auction? Because
That's possible. I don't know. Where did you hear that?
that was on the special features. They have clips of those 2 movies when they're talking
Oh, well,
about
then that's possible. Yes,
what
and
he
that's
picked
that.
up.
If those are included in there, then yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
So, but then I'm
Yeah,
wondering, were those negatives?
yeah.
Those
Those are original camera negatives.
okay.
Yeah, Red Roses of Passion. That's why it's so gorgeous. It's an original camera negative.
Yeah, because that's what I was wondering. Why are they calling out these 2, these sexploitation films when they're
That's
talking
why.
about this? But they must be because it was the negatives that he rescued. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, right. But then he also had weird stuff in that storage unit, like I don't know what the element was for Cannibal Holocaust. I have no idea what that was.
That Marco like opening up a storage shed is always it always reminds me like thank God we have vinegar syndrome to take some of this stuff and properly catalog it and
Right.
store it
Well,
so it's
that's all the
not
shit they didn't take, too.
right
So you know
exactly.
so what that means is that stuff is either duplicates of stuff they already have or can't get rights to, or it's unusable. So it's just there, I
Or they
believe. Because
didn't want it.
all the other shit they have. Like
Mhm.
they have they have the Red Roses of Passion, they have the Beware the Black Widow, they have the Bloodthirst negative, which they also got from Marco.
Mhm.
So that's the thing. They're not going to let if they're buying these, they're going to keep them in their storage because they trust their storage. They're not going to be like, oh yeah, sure, we'll just get them when we need them. No, give them to
No.
us. We don't trust your storage. Too many potential bad things can go wrong.
Well, it already did. He's when this was LA that they show in the clip, his LA storage units. But back when it was in New York, when they had a unit over there, that's where the water damage came from. So it's like, yeah, you don't want that happening again.
I wonder what storage it was in.
Yeah,
I used Manhattan Mini Storage. That's where Roberta put her stuff before that was transferred over to Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah, and he said that they lost, with that and that flood, they lost 2 negatives, which is like, it's funny when you think about that. It's not funny, but it's like to an archivist, that's losing like a child, as Oscar says, like it's all, all these films are important. And if all we have is a negative of them, when it's gone, that history is completely gone. Nobody's ever going to see this again.
Right. Well, that's like when I think when we talked about previously, like the Chancellor films, where you and Alex were like, well, if we can talk to Sandy Johnson's kids, then we'll know where the Chancellor stuff is. No, we won't. Those negatives are gone. Alex has already confirmed that the place where those negatives are being held, they were dumping them in the garbage. So when it's gone, it's gone. You have to rely on theatrical prints, and that's not great, because then you have to deal with people like Harry Garrow or the guy who has the trailer for Tricks of the Trade, who will not let it out of his sight or let anyone access it. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously better to have pre-print elements. Sometimes you don't have a choice. Like Boots and the Preacher was a 35 millimeter theatrical print because that's all they had. Because nobody, I don't know where that would have been held in storage in North Carolina, but yeah, who knows? Patterson's family might not have even had access to it. So
yeah. So this film, the first film, Horror from Beyond. I should also say this is sort of a production connection, but it's also has a couple shared actors. Eddie Infante. He's in both
Infante.
films. Yeah.
Yes, who's in everything. I mean, he's another one. He's like Vic Diaz, and then he's in everything. Like he was the head of, wasn't he in he's in Sweet Sugar. He's the head guy in the prison in Sweet Sugar. That's what I remember him from mostly. But he's in so much stuff.
He's so memorable. Like he just has a memorable face, and him when you see him.
He's great. He kind of reminds me of like Reggie Nalder, but not as scarred.
Okay, yeah.
Is Reggie Nalder. He's more photogenic than Reggie Nalder. Yeah.
But back to that like print damage we were talking about from the water. If you watch again the special feature with Oscar, you see him like with a straight razor just trying to pry this print apart that was damaged. And I think they even said it took 2 years of work to get this thing in shape. So it's like, it's crazy.
I believe it. Yeah.
But it also made me think about this fact that, nobody had known what this film was. So I'm just trying to go through Oscar's thought process here. Like he has this, like, how does he even know this is worth spending 2 years of his life on?
That's the thing. You can't put it on a flatbed. You can't put it on a scanner to see what it is.
He's just looking at the images that he's seen as he's winding through and sort of like unraveling this damaged print. Like,
right. Well, all you can do is kind of do just like a basic web search and see if anything with that title comes up. Because that's all you can do.
Yeah, which I guess leads to that other bonus feature with Chris Koenig.
Chris and I had a very public discussion about how he thinks that sex films, sexploitation in adult films don't mean anything. There's no meaning to them.
Oh yeah,
they're just entertainment. And I'm just like, well,
not like horror movies.
Listen, if you're a film historian with any kind of background in film, it's crazy for you to be saying that in 2026. Is all I'm going to say. So yeah, I don't love that. I will give him props. I did like his piece on this actually. Because it gave that background, that it gave really good background that we needed. Not all the background, obviously, because there's only so much you can discover about these films, but enough that it really gave a good context on what the films were, why we didn't see them. So yeah, I'll give him props for that for sure.
Yeah, and some of the people making them, and their motives behind it. Yeah.
Well, it's funny. When I was watching the credits for The Horror from Beyond, the first title, I saw these Philippine names and I was like, oh, okay, so it was a Filipino movie. Then I saw Newt Arnold and I immediately was like, oh shit. This better not be as bad as Bloodthirst, because Jesus Christ, I do not want to sit through something as bad as Bloodthirst, because Bloodthirst, the only film of this group that was released somehow in 1971, this black and white Filipino horror film released. Bloodfeast is one of Bloodfeast. Bloodthirst looks gorgeous, so boring, so boring. And it's interesting. There's a listing on IMDb for a movie called The Bloodless Vampire, and it says, the trivia says, so it looks like this was completed but never distributed. The plot synopsis is the same plot as Bloodthirst. So I'm just like, well, it's the same movie.
Yeah, and
it wasn't shot as Bloodthirst. It was shot as The Bloodless Vampire, obviously.
Yeah. That's the connection that Chris made as well, I think, through his.
I know. I saw black and white Newt Arnold, and then Robert Winston showed up, super friggin' hot Robert Winston, and I was like, okay, this is definitely at the same time as Bloodthirst, because it's all these same people involved. And then I wondered, okay, does that mean the second movie, when I move on to the second movie, is it going to be connected? And it was.
Yeah. Oh, so you were thinking that they were maybe going to re-release Bloodthirst?
No. I was just like, Newt Arnold made some other piece of shit at the same time. You were
just worried about the quality because of his.
I was worried about the quality, exactly. Yeah. I knew it wasn't Bloodthirst because I know the opening to Bloodthirst, but I was just like, oh god, all these names. This better not be like a Bloodthirst adjacent piece of shit, and it wasn't. I thought it was much more creative. I think the pacing was better. Mm-hmm. Not the fastest movie, but still I was compelled enough to keep going, unlike Bloodthirst, which is such a chore to get through.
As I watched that opening scene with the casket kind of floating up over the credits, I'm imagining Oscar, looking at these images as he's trying to clean up this reel. And then I'm like, okay, I can kind of see why he got invested in this, because if you're just looking at those opening credits, you're like, wait, I need to see this. And I think this might be worth my time.
Unless you're like me and you see Newt Arnold and you immediately pause.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, oh.
I'm sure he knew that name as well. So he probably immediately made the connection about like what this was.
Right.
And then once he realized what it was, he's probably like, okay, well, we did Bloodthirst before. This guy apparently did other movies. I'm kind of curious, and maybe we can, make something of this, and at least like complete the set is kind of what they're doing now, right? There's one left that they haven't.
There's one left that I don't see that happening though.
Lisa Louisa, yeah.
If it's gonna, I don't know what it would come out as or with, because they even note in that note at the end of the Oscar featurette that it's incomplete.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist in its complete version. So I don't know what we'll be seeing if it comes out. The clips of it look really gorgeous.
Right.
So and that's something even I would give Bloodthirst. All these films are really gorgeously photographed. Really absolutely stunning. But Paradise of Terror is just like next level. Once it gets inside the house, it plays with shadows so much. The lighting, there's those really good visual effects in there that like really startled me for their time. I was very impressed with like the painting coming to life. I was really impressed with that. I need to watch it again, but I'm just by the end of the movie, I'm just kind of like, so what? What happened and what the fuck is it? What the fuck's going on? It doesn't have any closure to it.
It's so very kind of philosophical.
It is. I need to rewatch it.
Let me ask you this, because I didn't understand that note at the beginning of we're talking about the second film here, Paradise of Terror. They mentioned that there was
bad title too, by the way.
Yeah, bad title. They're talking about that in-camera framing issues were left uncorrected. Do you know what I'm talking about? It was like a note at the beginning. It said that they left some in-camera framing issues. I didn't notice any weirdness.
See, I didn't notice that either.
Well, you have to watch it. All right, another reason to watch again.
That is something. That's something else that kind of bothers me. That bothers me about Vinegar Syndrome. Well, there's something about Vinegar Syndrome stuff that bothers me in general, which is the number of chapters corresponds to the number of reels. So you can't really accurately skip through a movie with chapters. Like, if you want to go back, no, I don't. If you want to go back a bit, if you walked out of the room to go do something and then like, I should have pressed pause. Got to jump all the fuck the way back 20 minutes to go to the beginning. Yeah, I'm just like, it was a cute idea. Not into it. And this is the Reviver thing is worse. It's one chapter. You can't skip through any of it. Yes, you can't skip through any of it. So if you're trying to rewatch it, or again, you walk out of the room and don't press pause. Something happens and you have to go take care of something quick. You come back, you have to start over at the very fucking beginning or like manually rewind it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
All right, Oscar, are you listening?
I don't like that. No, I don't like that. It's like it's this is not a special feature, it's a film. Mm-hmm. Like special features is one chapter. That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, even then, if it's feature length, shouldn't be one fucking chapter. It should be split up.
Yeah.
But
maybe I'll have to ask Oscar about this because I think the insinuation with this vague comment, this vague note at the beginning is that there was some weird camera framing because I think that they were going to add some kind of like special effects or they were going to add something that they never got to later.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
But whatever it is, I didn't notice it. So
I didn't notice it either. Didn't notice it. It's not like water damage that you would definitely notice. Yeah.
No, this is like.
And it was funny because I was watching for a while. I was like, where's the fucking water damage? And then it showed up. And I was like, oh, okay. But then that also explains a lot of like, what was I watching? Oh, Disconnected. I was watching Disconnected and it was Ryan wasn't on. It was Will doing it. And they were just breezing through stuff. And the guy he was on with didn't like the idea of Reviver. He was kind of like, well, I don't know. I guess, they're going through this like gullibility of people just buying stuff sight unseen. And I'm just like, if it's so good, just tell us what it is. Okay. But this is good, but they can't put it out on its own because of the fucking water damage. Like, if they put it out that you would have these armchair warriors on Reddit would be bitching about it. Mm-hmm. So this is the way you're going to get it. You're going to have to get it this way. Just deal with it. And, I know Alex is against the mystery of it. I love the mystery of it. Like, it does not bother me.
Most people
doesn't bother me in the least.
To like the mystery. I don't think that doesn't bother me. I don't think that works against it at all.
Well, especially if you're a film person, like there are people who like will never watch something shot on video or digitally or anything. This is all film, so you know that it's of a certain vintage. So if you like films from a certain era and you're not stuck to one genre, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be into whatever it is. Like I like all kinds of film. If it's shot on film, I'm especially impressed because I like the way film looks. So regardless of, and I think that even the first one, when they were like there was an educational film on there which came out of nowhere and 2 films with no soundtracks, I was like, well, this is great. This is I'm really into this. So I like the mystery aspect of it. But that's only, I think if it was anybody else, I might be a little more suspect just because I know Vinegar Syndrome and their background and the kind of films that they started with and the films that if it's film that they're working hard to restore from like a single print or a water damaged camera negative, then it's going to be good because they have that track record of going after stuff of a certain vintage.
Yeah.
So
because like Terror Vision, that label, they've done mystery stuff before, and apparently
they mentioned that on that Disconnected. They said they mentioned that people do that and they buy that. It's like, well, yeah, because you're taking a shot that it's going to be something you like, and if it's a label you like, if it's and you know what their focus is, then the chances are you're going to like it. So I don't see the people complaining about it are the people who I think are like would prefer it if it was like an 80s slasher or like a 90s giallo or something. It's like, well, that's not going to happen because they're dealing with film elements from America. They're going to be American, first of all, or at least American finance, like these 2 films. Yeah. So if you're interested in like American film history, then I feel like this series is like a slam dunk for you because it covers so many different possibilities.
Did you watch Oscar's like winding through featurette?
I did. Oscar, gotta tell you, he has a very distinctive sense of humor.
It's a stand-up comedian in another life.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Tim and Eric Awesome Show. I feel like that's very much his sense of humor.
I can see that, yeah.
And I think it's wild. Yeah. So, but it also, but I think it makes those less like stagnant. I think there is a reputation of people working in film, like behind the scenes in film restoration stuff, of being very boring, not social creatures because they prefer to work with like film than over people.
Sure.
So I like that it gives kind of a little more accessibility to people working with film, because I think a lot of these people, they don't really, you don't know who they are. And a lot of the people that I know who work in in archiving and stuff, not the most socially savvy people. I love them, but that's how I can get along with them, because I'm also not that socially savvy. But yeah, I'm still dying to meet Oscar. I need to get up there. Dino keeps telling me I need to go up and visit. I think I'm gonna take a. I need to take like a 4-day weekend and go up for like 2 days. I think I have too
Yeah.
much to do up there. I have to go through all those papers and stuff.
Yeah. Well, did you notice Oscar in that piece? He talked about access to films. I don't know if you
Yes,
remember that. And I was like
I do.
cheering in my seat and like,
I do. Yes.
Casey, this is
So,
what Casey's been saying. It's like, what's the point of, being an archive if there's no access? And Oscar spoke directly to that.
yes, if you're an archivist and you are not discussing access, then you're not an archivist. Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Anybody working in archiving, in yeah, in anything related to film or keeping things safe, and preserving things, you need to be talking about access. It's not. That's kind of like, who doesn't talk about access? The Andy fucking Warhol Foundation. All that shit is under lock and key. It's like, well, why are you saving this?
Yeah.
Andy's long dead. You won't let anybody see it unless you're a researcher that goes to the museum to see it, and even then, you have to schedule way ahead of time.
Yeah. Very
It's just like
elitist. Yeah.
and it's very elitist, and I think that's why this series is kind of like, it's sure it's charging money, but it's the only way we're going to be able to access this shit.
Right.
So, and the money's going towards the archive, which I think is really important, because you know how much shit they have that they have to take care of.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot to worry about.
The other thing I like that Oscar was talking about, which was with regard to, as we're talking about film, these are all
Mhm.
film elements.
Mhm.
With regard to the water damage, he was like, okay, yeah, this is bad. But if this was a digital drive, it would be gone. There'd be
Oh,
nothing to
absolutely,
salvage. But here we can at least
absolutely.
salvage something because it's a
Yep,
physical film piece. Yeah. So I thought that
yep.
was a really nice point to make, which is, all you digital archivists out there, we love you as well, but like it's different.
It's
Film
very
can
different.
survive something that, that your digital drive can't.
Yeah. It's harder to preserve and restore analog tape,
Yeah, like we've talked
VHS,
about.
beta,
Yeah,
1 inch, 2 inch, all these old formats. It's much harder to take care of that stuff than it is. You get way luckier with film in situations like this. If there's a videotape that had been like baked, or had been, water damage wouldn't necessarily hurt a videotape. Well, it depends actually, but that's a whole area that I kind of wish. But that's not Oscar's focus. Like
no,
there are archivists who work in video that they would know that. That is something I might suggest to Oscar actually, if he could get a a guest archivist to maybe come in and assist with some of the video stuff they have that was shot on video on some
mhm.
different obsolete format that would be tough to restore. That might be something interesting to see. I feel like there's a snobbishness against stuff that's shot on video. I used to have that snobbishness. I really don't now. I'll always love the look of film over video, obviously, but that doesn't just missing video entirely. It's just missing like so many different interesting filmmakers and
Right.
and different ways of telling stories and doing things. So I actually would love a video reviver, to tell you the truth.
Well, what's the Vinegar Syndrome partner that does all the video
Oh,
study
Degasse
stuff? Yeah,
or
Degasse.
Degasser or whatever.
Yeah, they could
And I
do kind
think
of a
yeah,
spin-off
actually, that's a good idea. Yes.
for them to
Something
do.
with video. Yeah, just because that's a lot of those master tapes, depending on the age of the master tape, good grief. Yeah, that makes me think about like, well, Command Cinema, they have Dangerous Stuff, which is one of the earliest shot on video productions. It was actually like quality. And that's going to be tough for them to put out because I don't think they do video stuff in house. And that would look gorgeous restored from the master tape. I got to tell you, I just don't know if they're actually thinking about doing it.
This is a Chuck Vincent.
That's Howard Winters, Cecil Howard.
Oh, how? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was made around the same time as Star Angel because Angel's in it.
Oh,
Um, And
Love
it was
Star
shot on
Angel.
like a stage, essentially. Yeah, Star Angel's great. Angel's very good in this. It's her, it's Eric Edwards. Trying to remember who else is in it, but it's like the lighting is film quality, so it looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's not a poorly shot video, but it obviously needs to be restored well because of like white balance issues and potential like that, where
Hmm.
everything should look more crisp. But
Yeah.
obviously Reviver can't do that, but somebody should.
Hmm.
Somebody should.
So we're just, yeah, kind of breezing through these two films. Like we said, I think everybody, the consensus is Paradise of Terror is a minor little Filipino Gothic masterpiece, I think.
Loved it. Okay, well,
Yeah,
also, I didn't know where it was going to go. I
right.
had no idea where it was going. I didn't know when these women showed up. Why are these women here? Like yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, and that's kind of what you want in a film, especially in this genre at this time period, where like everybody's doing the same thing,
Yeah.
just with different actors and maybe a different look here and there. This was really unlike anything else from that
Yeah.
period, I
And
think.
that surprise, like kind of dismemberment at the end kind of
Oh my
shocked
God.
me. I didn't
Yeah,
expect
right.
that.
Right. I was super, and I love seeing Dracula from Blackula. Charles Macaulay was, was kind of the heavy. That first appearance of that ghostly woman was really, really jolting. And then she like walks to her.
That's the
It
image that's
was,
on the artwork, isn't it? Her like standing against the window. Is that the same image you're talking about?
is it on the artwork?
Like
Did they change the artwork? Oh,
on
yes,
the
that's it.
front. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love it. That really jolted me. And then it's just so they just, like there was obviously money put into this production. It wasn't some cheap fly by night, even though it was mostly shot indoors,
Hmm.
just made so much good use of that location. Really, really good work.
Yeah, both of them are really good productions. Like obviously they're
Mhm.
low budget, but it's nothing feels like slapdash about it. They're quality. Yeah,
No,
like you said.
no. Which is, I mean, that I need to revisit. Do I need to revisit Bloodthirst?
Well, maybe just wait until that's I think Vinegar is gonna probably re-release it, right?
I mean,
I
their
don't know.
restoration from a 35 millimeter, it was like a mint 35 millimeter print, and it looked gorgeous anyway.
Mm,
That's the thing. That's when the suggestion that they're going to reissue Bloodthirst from the original camera negative. I don't see the point unless unless it was part of a package with something. I don't think
well,
that movie on its own has legs.
package it with the reels of Lisa Louisa we can see.
Again,
And maybe something else.
for what
Yeah.
audience for who?
For the
Yeah, it's like,
completionists who want all these four journey productions,
well,
on
you're
their
going to have
shelf.
to hope that everyone who bought the Reviver would buy that release.
Yeah.
They might not. And also, they only had a certain amount of these, so that's not enough. That's not enough people to justify the Blu-ray license paying like there's costs involved with every release. I just
Yeah.
don't see them reissuing Bloodthirst. Maybe they are, but that everyone knows that movie is terrible. So I
Yeah.
think trying to upgrade to that, even if it's from an original camera negative, I don't know. I don't know. I had the DVD with Thirsty Dead. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's on that
I love
drive-in
Thirsty Dead,
double
though. I love
feature.
Thirsty
Yeah.
Dead. Actually, you know what? Maybe that's how you do it.
Do that. Upgrade
Maybe you
both of those.
upgrade it. Or if you're gonna upgrade, well, there's a lot of those drive-in that should be upgraded. Dungeons of Harrow would be good to have on Blu-ray. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there'd be like a little package. I don't know. By itself, I don't see it working.
Yeah, I wonder why they didn't get the Lisa Louisa on this release. Maybe they just didn't get
That
done
I
in
don't know because it
time.
looks great in the clips.
Yeah.
I think it's possible that it's not as much of a horror movie as these two, so it would not fit.
Yeah, maybe it
Like
just
in terms of theme, it wouldn't have fit.
yeah, that's right. That might be right.
But I don't know. Yeah. I
Well,
don't remember what Oscar told me. Well, whatever he told me, I couldn't share it here anyway. So
oh yeah.
I don't,
Oh, before we go, what the heck is
mm.
that little toy on the desk? That little like pants
I
falling
love
down
that. I
zombie
love
guy.
that.
Why can't I buy that right now on Vinegar
I
Syndrome?
know. I know. It reminds me of that. Oh, what were the two movies that we watched with the donkey that
Yeah.
had a cigarette come out of its ass?
Well, it's Nymphs Anonymous is the
Yes.
one.
And She-Mob.
She Mob,
Yes, that's
yes.
right. Yes. So it is one of those things that I would like to have on my desk.
Yeah.
And I love the way it was shot. It was shot like it was a major part of the scene. It wasn't just like in the background. Yeah, foreground. It was like shot beautifully lit. I was like, okay. Like, I did like that little twist also where like the wife died. I was like, what? I thought she was going to be brought back, and she wasn't.
Right. Yeah, I thought
it was going to be an
like
ET situation.
Yes,
like
that's what I was going to say.
Or you know what? Or like Mac and Me, where that's how what happened in Mac and Me, where the kid gets shot and then Mac brings the kid back to life. I was like, oh, they're this invader's going to bring her back to life. Didn't bring her back to life.
I totally thought that's where it was going as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She's bad anyway. I don't know who that actress was. She was not good. She's not good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Reviver 2 in the books. I kind of wanted to get this out there because, look, they're doing Oscar's doing great work. We are supportive of the film archive over there. And obviously, we just know how much of a labor of love this is for the whole team over there. And wanted to give it some time because we probably won't get to it for a little, until next episode or so, which might be a little ways away.
This next week.
I know.
Next weekend. What are you talking about? It'll be
I want
2
to
weeks.
get this out timely. It's very timely. True. Go order your Reviver.
I saw someone else complaining, kind of like they sold out, and then they announced, "Oh, we found some extra copies," and they were like, "Of course they found extra copies. What an underhanded move to try to get more copies sold." I'm just like, shut the fuck up and go buy it. Like what? What is? Shut up. Just go buy it. Stop complaining. Go buy it.
So, remind me, how are they doing this reveal here? Because I think after a certain point, whoever is running the Reviver
once
socials,
it sells out,
the Reviver sold out yet. Socials, then they'll. Oh, okay. Once it sells out, then they'll talk about what the films are.
Yes, hasn't sold out yet because they found those extra slips.
296 are still in stock as I'm looking right now.
Get your shit together, people. This is real. This is really good. This is a really good one. It's a major upgrade in terms of quality of the films and the restoration work, I think. Because they're dealing with original camera negatives, not these 8mm, 16mm things in a 35 print from the first one. Like they got really lucky with this one. They got, these camera negatives.
Thank you for listening. To hear more shows from the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, please select the link in the description